Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, but it's a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is a 5-star predictions video. So, I honestly give out a lot of 5 stars, so I feel like maybe this will be kind of accurate. I don't know, but I do just want to sit down and talk about some books that I'm very excited to read, some books that I think I'm gonna love, and we're just gonna get into it. But before we fully get into the video, I do want to take a second and ask you if you've noticed my snazzy new glasses that I'm wearing. Yes, thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Glasses USA. I now have these lovely frames, and let's talk about it a bit more. If you guys don't know, Glasses USA is one of the biggest eyewear retailers in the US, offering thousands of different styles for their eyeglasses and eyewear, ranging from like Ray-Ban or Gucci or Oakley or just any of the brands you could want. I've actually bought glasses from Glasses USA myself before because of the price point. All of their frames start at $39, which is up to 70% off retail prices. If you guys like any of the frames that you see throughout this video, there is a super exclusive discount offer at the top of my description just for you guys. Something I also really love about glassesusa.com is the fact that you can put a blue light coating on any of their lenses. As somebody who spends a lot of time staring at their computer screen doing things for school and work and, you know, sometimes pinching YouTube videos, that coating is really nice because it helps to decrease eye strain. Normally I find online glasses shopping to be very scary because I never know if the frames are gonna look quite right on their face, but they have this really cool AR virtual try-on tool that will allow you to see what the frames look like on your face before you buy them. Also, just in general, shopping online at glassesusa.com is risk-free because they offer free shipping and returns and a 100% money-back guarantee within 14 days. So I do quickly want to show you the 3 frames that I've selected, and I absolutely love them. First of all are the ones that I'm wearing, and these are the Atato Bologna in the clear silver color. I don't really like the look of dark frames on my face, so I always go for just no frames or this like nice light clear color for them, and I love these and I've been wearing them constantly. These next frames are the Amelia EC in silver. These kind of make me feel like a librarian. I love the cat eye on them. I love the like green side piece here, and I just really enjoyed them. And then I also got a pair of sunglasses, which I am so obsessed with, and they are just the oval Ray-Bans in like all black, and I think they're so cool. Like, I've been wearing them every time I leave the house and I just love them. Like, I've never had a pair of like tiny all black sunglasses, and it makes me feel like that girl, you know what I'm saying? So if any of these frames piqued your interest or you just want to have a look around, there is a super exclusive discount code at the top of my description that can be used on top of any other coupon code for the next 24 hours. So yes, thank you so much to Glasses USA for sponsoring this video, and let's get into talking about some books. I have like fantasy, there's mysteries, we have a thriller, and more fantasy, obviously. So I'm just gonna grab off the top of the stack. The first one we have here is actually a book that I've been meaning to read for the longest time. I've had it for like a year and a half now. Even though I loved the first one, I gave the first book in this series 5 stars, and I just have yet to pick this one up, and that is The Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen. This is the second book in a fantasy, well, like it's kind of fantasy. It's not exactly fantasy romance, but like it's basically fantasy romance. And you're following our main character Laura, who is an assassin who was sent to marry the king of another kingdom and kill him, obviously. But we all know that doesn't happen. They fall in love. Romance ensues. But I love the first book, The Bridge Kingdom, so much. I love the characters. The setting was really cool. It was just very different to anything I'd read before. And I just really want to jump into this book. But for some reason, I don't. As for the next book on this list, if I don't give this book a 5 stars, like I will legitimately be like very disappointed. Like the most disappointed that I will be out of any of these books. Because I've heard so many people talk about it. So many of you guys have recommended it to me. I've just heard great things. And that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I feel like everybody is reading Carissa Broadbent right now, specifically this one and Daughter of No Worlds. I've also heard a lot of people talk about, but this one's got vampires in it. So when I heard vampire fantasy romance, I was like, how could I not pick it up, you know? And I love a good fantasy romance, but I've never read like a proper fantasy romance of sorts with vampires in it. So basically in this book, you are following our main character, who is the adopted human daughter of the vampire king. And essentially, to like prove her place in this world just full of beings that want to murder her, she decides to take place in this tournament to kind of make a name for herself. Which, that right there, I love any book with like a tournament type of aspect to it, and I'm so excited about that. And basically in this tournament, her biggest competitor is this like ruthless and brooding but really hot vampire who she finds herself oddly drawn to, and I'm like, I feel like I would also find myself oddly drawn to him. But I like everything about this. Sounds like it'll be something I will really enjoy. Me and my friend Elaine are also reading this together, so I think that's gonna make it even more fun, and I am so excited to get into this. Another reason I'm so excited about this book is because it's a stunning, like, big floppy paperback, and I'm like, hello. 5 stars alone just for book construction. Like, it's not the floppiest, but it's still pretty floppy, so 5 stars. Before I even give it 5 stars, you know? The next book I have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I just recently read 5 Survive for a 24-hour readathon that I was doing coincidentally. It's sitting right here. But I went into that with low expectations. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about, you know, Holly Jackson's writing style. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about a young adult thriller. And I know this is more of like a mystery type thing, but I just really enjoyed my time reading 5 Survive, gave it like a 4.5. So I was like, everybody loves this one. So theoretically, maybe I'll give this one an even higher star rating if I like that one so much. And I am super excited to jump into this. Basically, you're following our main character, Pip, who is... she's solving a murder. Is that all I know? Yes. I'm not normally one for mysteries, just because I usually find with the mysteries that I've read at least that like the characters aren't super well developed and I don't connect to them in any way. But I recently discovered, like through the Veronica Speedwell series, that, you know, if it has great characters and I love the characters, then I will end up, you know, loving the book. So I think especially with this being YA, I will probably find the characters to be, you know, enjoyable to read about. I think I'll probably end up liking her characterization because I enjoyed it in 5 Survive, so I figured these characters will probably also just be interesting to follow. And I'm excited to just jump into it, read something different, and I think that's also why I'm gonna give it a 5 stars, because I've been reading obviously so much fantasy over the last few months, which I love, like, don't get me wrong. But it is always nice to switch it up, and I find when I do switch things up and I end up really enjoying that, I'm like, wow, 5 stars. So hopefully that'll also happen with this one. The next book that I have on this list, I do not currently have a physical copy of. That's mainly because it's out in hardback and I really kind of want to wait for it to come out in paperback, but it doesn't come out in paperback until next year. So I'm like, what do I do with that? But like the rest of the books in the series, I have in paperback. I don't know. That's a dilemma I'm trying to work out for myself. But it is specifically the newest Veronica Speedwell book, which is called A Sinister Revenge. I could probably say like any of the remaining Veronica Speedwell books would be a predicted 5 stars, but I think A Sinister Revenge specifically will be a 5 stars. And that's because the few people that I've seen talk about it have absolutely loved it. They said it's one of their favorite in the series, so I'm like, maybe I will absolutely love it and it will be one of my favorite in the series. I don't specifically know what this book is about because I'm only on the 6th book in the series, but I just wanted to quickly put it out there that I think I'm gonna give the 8th book specifically a 5 stars, and I'm just interested to see how that prediction plays out. The next book that I have on this list is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I read the Strange the Dreamer duology for the first time last year and I absolutely loved it. They're right there, my babies. And in that series, the characters I loved. The writing was so stunning and the ambiance was just so whimsical and lovely. And I don't know if it's exactly gonna have the same ambiance as Strange the Dreamer because I think this seems like it'll be like a bit darker almost and a bit less whimsical, but I do think like her characters and her writing style will probably shine through no matter what she's trying to write. And I've heard definitely like mixed things about this book. I know some people really love it, but I know some people didn't love it as much, but I'm really hoping that I love it. And again, I don't know a ton about this book, so my 5-star prediction is kind of just going off the vibes, but I heard it kind of has to do with portal magic, which I think is really cool. And I don't know, have I ever read a book with portal magic? I don't know if I have. I know Alice in Wonderland is portal magic. I know like the Every Heart a Doorway series is portal magic, but I haven't read any of those. And I don't think I've ever read a book with portal magic in it. So this will be my first for me. And I'm very excited about that. So I will also be very disappointed if this one's not a 5-star, but we'll see. The next book that I have on this list is also a book that I do not currently have a physical copy of, but that is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I've definitely heard some things about this book, but most recently I've heard Tori from Tori Between Pages talk about this book and absolutely love it. And from what she was saying about it, I was like, I think I might love that book too. Like, it sounds like everything I enjoy in a book, so we'll see. Basically, this one is like a gothic fantasy romance. And as soon as I heard that, I was sold. I was like, okay, fine, I need to pick it up, I need to buy it. Where do I get it? I did not buy it yet because I've put myself on a pseudo book buying ban indefinitely. You know how it is. Again, with this book, I don't really know specifics, but I will read you like the little blurb about it online because this is also why I thought I would like it. It says this is a lushly gothic fantasy about a maiden who must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom. But the monster in her head isn't the only threat lurking. Elspeth? Oh my god. Like, I know I've seen this name before, but it's like always so hard for me to say. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Which just sounds so good. I feel like there's a lot of room for like interesting character development to happen, and I just feel like the vibes will be there. I tend to really like the writing style that comes along with most like dark and gothic tales, so I'm hoping it has a stunning writing style. I have no idea, but I'm really hoping it does. And I'm really hoping to pick this one up later in the year. I feel like this would be a really good pick for like October or November specifically. So I'm manifesting that will happen, and I really hope it does. The next book I have here is actually a book that I just recently picked up on a whim. I finished 5 Survive and I was like, I want more thrillers. So I went to the library and I scoped out the thrillers. And while I was there, I saw this book, and this is a book that I've been meaning to read for like years now, and I decided to pick it up from the library because I'm hoping to read it soon. But also like a tiny voice in the back of my head is telling me like, wait for October. But like every time I tell myself to like save a book for a specific month, it doesn't happen. So I don't know if I'm gonna listen to that voice right now. It makes me sound insane, but like, I don't know. Anyway, that is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I don't exactly remember who made this comparison, but I have heard this book compared slightly to The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and I absolutely love that book. So when I heard that about this book, I was like, okay, cool. And from there I looked into it and I found out that it takes place in like a decrepit Victorian mansion in Vermont, and I was like, I don't even care. Like, what else happens in this book? Like, I don't care what the thriller element is, don't need to know about it. Because any book that takes place in like a spooky gothic mansion or house, whatever, I will probably be into it for just the ambiance of that alone. Like, the flap describes it as a rambling Victorian estate in the Vermont woods. Like, hello? That's absolutely everything I could possibly want to read, so I'm really hoping to pick this up soon. I think you're following somebody who spent like 2 weeks there or something, and they eventually wrote a horror memoir about it. Like, that just, it sounds so good. And even like the top blurb here like just pulls me in. It says, bells that ring themselves, record players that turn on and play music to empty rooms, ghosts that climb out of wardrobes. Like, hello. I don't really think it's gonna have like many paranormal aspects to it, to be honest, because it's a thriller and not like a horror, but even just the suggestion of like spooky ghost whatever, I think I could really enjoy. So all of that sounds great. I am very interested to see what I think of this one because I have read one Riley Sager before and it was Lock Every Door. However, I thought the ending to that one was like really convoluted. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one, but I wanted to put this in here because of the spooky house. That's why I think I'm gonna like it. Let's be real here. This next book I have here is a book that I've been talking about a lot recently, honestly, but I'm gonna bring it up again because I really do think I'm gonna give this 5 stars, and that is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent by Marie Brennan. Basically, this book is exactly what you think it is. It follows our main character, Lady Trent, who is the world's preeminent dragon naturalist. And that sounds so fun. Like, I love books with dragons in them, but I don't read enough. But to have a book like solely focused on dragons, I'm like, that sounds so cool. While this is set in a fantasy world, I do believe like it's generally based on like Victorian London, which I'm also like very excited about. And I just think I'm gonna love this book. Like, very cozy fantasy. I've definitely heard people describe it that way, which I also really enjoy. And while this book is focused on dragons, I do believe this is also kind of a memoir of her life, which I also think could just be really fun. And I am so excited to jump into this. This is on my spring TBR, so I'm really hoping I read it and I give it 5 stars. So these are just a few of the books on my current TBR that I think I could really love and give 5 stars. Again, I'm really hoping that happens. I wanted to keep this list low, you know, keep my expectations low, because obviously not everything's gonna be a 5 star, but I feel confident with my selections here. So hopefully I gave you guys some ideas for books that you might really love. I hope I did a decent job at explaining why I think I would give these books 5 stars, but I'm very excited about all of these. Whether or not I get to them in a timely manner, it's another question, but when I do end up finally reading all of these, I do want to do a follow-up video to see how correct my predictions were. But if I had to take a guess, that follow-up video won't be happening very soon, but we can hope. We can always hope. Also, thank you so much again to Glasses USA for sponsoring this video. Don't forget you can check out the very exclusive discount code in the top of my description. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do let me know down below if you guys have any 5-star predictions for yourself. I would love to hear books that you guys think you're gonna give 5 stars. And yes, I'm gonna let you go. Did I already say that? I'm getting so bad at doing these outros. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Bye.